Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at Takara Tomy's Transformers Generations Selects Kraken, also known as Seawing in the States. This is the fourth of the Seacons that we're looking at on the channel, and he turns again into a weird sea monster. He is a manta ray. Looking at the toys now in hand, I am curious what Piranacon might have looked like if they were more realistic sea monsters. But Kraken here, or Seawing, he does look pretty sweet. I do like what they did in terms of the remolding. He is still a Terracon combiner limb. I'm pretty sure that this one was based off of the bird Terracon. He, has some interesting color scheme. Again, everyone shares at least two colors. Here we've got green and teal. He's a lot more black than anyone else, which gives him a bit of personal identity. We can take off the gun and the hand shield and this piece of Piranacon's weapon, setting those aside for now. He's pretty sleek. I like how kind of relatively water dynamic he is. One big complaint I have is just, I think it's a design choice they made. His feet are backwards, and I double-checked in the instructions and everywhere else, and it looks like that's how they're supposed to be. This front claw is painted gray, so this is a weird heel, but I would have just preferred differently molded legs that weren't backwards. I think that's just a weird personal choice. I really like his head. I mean, we've got, green and gray and black all in this cool angular manta ray head. I really like that. Love the yellow eyes picked out. We get a little bit of yellow in the back. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I also like that if you look at the underneath, it doesn't really look like a robot man under there. But yeah, in terms of alt mode, he's up there with Nautilus to me. I think these two are kind of on the same level of being really good Combiner Wars engineering deluxe limbs. Let's see if we can take off these underside guns here and go ahead and do some transformation. And I am, now that I'm this point in the videos, I've done 3 of them already, I'm kind of regretting leaving all the limb and weapon modes for everyone in the combined video. I feel like it's going to be really long. We'll see how that ends up being. So to get him transformed, first thing we're going to do is take his little manta ray tail, stingray tail, fold it in, take both of these monster legs and fold those in, get those out of the way. And then we can split apart the back of the manta ray, and there is an accordion joint in here that we can swivel out and down on 2 hinges. Same thing on this side. Separate. There we go. Get it out. Lock it in place, and we've got some robot legs. Next we can come up. I think we want to go ahead and swivel his legs around, and his manta ray head splits out into his robot arms, which I really like a lot. Those can come down and out of the way, and then we have the top of this manta ray piece folds out, and it's on a joint here that separates from his head. You can accordion it back and close the sides and give him, it reminds me of the shuttle mode that came with the Takara Bruticus. Kind of that sort of, it sticks out a little bit. It doesn't perfectly line up with the contours of his chest, but it still works. Then we can come in and flip out his hands on each side. One, and this one's a little tough. You kind of got to work your fingernail in there. There we go. And again, we have a pretty cool looking robot mode. We can fold the wings back if you want. I kind of like to just keep them out to the sides. I think that looks pretty cool as a robot. And then he can take, of course, all sorts of his weapons. Again, he comes loaded up with everything, so we can give him his 2 little guns. We can mount, if you want, again, the Power Papoose can come back from Power of the Primes. Mount that. If you want to put a Power Master in here, you absolutely can. Otherwise, we can just cover it up. Which way does it go? That does not want to stand there securely. There it is. Fold that up. I mean, I think that looks pretty awful, and it's heavy enough that it messes with that joint. So we'll just take that off. So he's the first of the Seacons that can't really hold all his weapons, unfortunately. His gun can hook up to one of his wings. His scythe piece, let's just say that's going to hang out in the back too. We're not going to worry about it. So, I mean, you can find ports for everything, but it is, compared to the other bot modes, feels like there are less dedicated hard points to get all his gear on him, which is a bit unfortunate. But in terms of robot mode, I mean, let's start out with a close look at this head sculpt right here. Again, 4 for 4 on these awesome robot head sculpts. A lot of details picked out in gray paint. It almost looks like there was a wash that was applied to get some of these details above his eyebrows, or his eyes, whatever that you call that, the crest piece. The visor looks really good. The silver face looks awesome. No new colors really appear in robot mode, but he kind of rearranges his color scheme a bit. Still very black and green, but you know, I really dig that color scheme. So again, Combiner Wars Engineering, the head moves 360. You can move his arms. They don't go 360 because of his wings, which is, you know, okay. There is a shoulder ball joint, as well as a shoulder swivel. I guess it's supposed to be a bicep swivel, but it's pretty high. There is a 90-degree bend at the elbow. There is a teeny tiny bit of articulation in the hand that you can kind of use if you want to do something with it. His hips go the same Combiner Wars Van Damme, and then of course slightly actually deeper than 90-degree bend at the legs, and then he has the sculpted A stance instead of ankle tilts. So yeah, as a robot, I think he does look pretty cool. I think his alt mode might be just a little more put together than his robot mode. I did find that the chest, there are pegs here on the sides that you're supposed to be able to clip these ports on the chest into, but if you look, it can pop out if you work them enough. But if you get it, you know, clipped in nicely now, you can put the power papoose on him, and he's mostly fine there. We can give him this piece in the back just to balance things out. So yeah, like he can still hold all his stuff, but I'll admit having to put this piece in the front versus having a spot in the back, especially with his combiner port back here, is a little unfortunate. But yeah, Seawing's cool. Again, I guess I'm gonna have to spend a dedicated video doing like all the weapon modes and limb modes, and then I can do a combiner video. We'll see. But this is the 4th of the Seacons, Seawing, and he looks terrific. Again, I'll show them all off together once I've done all of them, but they fit right in, and I'm super happy I've got them. So far, my rankings are Not a Later Seawing, Snaptrap, Scalor. We'll see the last two where they fit in.
All right, time to announce the winner of the Transformers Earthrise Voyager Grapple figure. This was the one that is missing a wheel. I assume that there'd be less people interested in it, which turned out to be true. We have 2 people interested, Tatamus Prime and Gen 1 Red Alert. We're going to go ahead and flip a coin to see who wins. Okay, we got heads. Heads is Tatamus Prime. So Tatamus Prime Grapple is going to be on his way to you. And thanks again for watching, everyone, and we'll catch you all next week with another Seacon. Have a great day.